When corruption and rights abuses are being committed by those with the most power, such as governments, multinational companies, police, or the military, it is sometimes necessary to investigate and expose what is going on. Although there was widespread knowledge of police brutality in Egypt, it was an issue the mainstream media seemed unwilling to report on. To help affected citizens carry out investigations, journalist Noha Atef began a blog called Torture in Egypt.
All the content is about torture crimes committed in Egypt and the relationship between policemen and citizens. Torture in Egypt started in the time torture was not highlighted enough at all. Torture crimes were rarely mentioned on TV. It was not very interesting to mainstream media. So torture in Egypt highlighted it. And it was inspiring to other internet users, special bloggers, to write about torturing and even their views, because what they were reading in Torture in Egypt was really shocking.
By uncovering human rights abuses in Egypt, through this blog, Noha has managed to correct some serious injustices. In 2007, a woman wrote telling Noha that her husband had been kept in prison for 14 years, even though the courts had found him not guilty of the crime he was arrested for.
The court sentenced that he was not guilty, but the policeman, a certain policeman, kept him detained. And he was renewing the paper for him to keep him in jail. And I wrote about it more than time, and I was following it up.
Noha's article was cited in mainstream media across Egypt. The policeman involved in the case wrote to her, upset at the public attention he was receiving. A short time later, the jailed man was released from prison, free, as he should have been 14 years earlier. Another effective investigation was carried out in Tunisia.
The story of the Tunisian airplane video began when a friend of mine, a Tunisian activist and blogger, was searching the internet for photos related to airplanes in Tunisia, and he found the image of the Tunisian presidential airplane in a website for jet spotter, people who share photos about planes that they took in airport. And he kept on searching, and he found more than 20 photos of the same presidential airplane in different airports in Europe. So what he done, he went to the Tunisian presidential websites and took the list of the official trips of the Tunisian president and compared that to the photos with dates and places of the image of the Tunisian presidential airplane in Europe, and he found out that only one trip was official. So the question that he asked was, who is using the Tunisian airplane and why? And he went out and he made a video mashing up those images using Google Earth, flying on the different airports where the plane were witnessed, and publishing that on YouTube and engaging the Tunisian blogosphere to talk about this case of transparency and abuse of power. Big mainstream media like Foreign Policy magazine, who published a story about that, investigated the case and said that the Tunisian airplane was used by the First Lady of Tunisia for some personal shopping in luxurious shops in Europe.
As a result of the public attention this video received, the government in Tunisia blocked YouTube and another popular video sharing site, Dailymotion. Despite this story, like the Torture in Egypt blog, shows us how the internet can be used both as a tool to investigate abuses of power and to broadcast and spread the truth.